right, let's go ahead and get started, everyone. Thank you for joining us to discuss safe money and our VSL opportunity. It's been a really exciting opportunity for many of our advisors in 2023. It was an excellent tool to help keep their sales funnel full and close more business. And I'm excited to have Clifford Blodgett from Safe Money here on the call with us, as well as Curtis Hawks, our Chief Marketing Officer. How are you guys this morning?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you? How's everyone else out there?
Doing well, thank you.
Well. Yeah, jazzed up to be talking about this. We'll talk about this here in a little bit, but a lot of time, energy, and effort has gone into what we're going to be presenting to you guys this morning, so we're really excited.
Good deal. Well, I'm going to keep my part of this short, but very quickly I want to talk to you all about our IMS value prop, why people decide to do business with us. We're good with marketing, we're good with a lot of other things, and I'm going to hit high level just some of those key topics. So first of all, we want you to get a fast start here with us at IMS. And one of the ways that we do that is invest heavily in our producers that contract and get writing with us. We have our new producer bonus program that allows you at different thresholds to reach different ways for us to invest back into your practice. So you see some of the options here at the different thresholds that we can do for you. We're not limiting our producers to just those options that you see there. Basically, what we want to do is if you're somebody who proves that they are worth investing in, we want to help keep your sales funnel full. During your 6 months of being contracted with us, if you reach those different levels, we will invest back into your practice. I'll give you an example. I had a guy just reach the $1 million level not too long ago, and what he did was invest in 3 more seminars that he's doing to keep his sales funnel full for the first part of 2014. 2014, 10 years ago, 2024. And we want to keep investing in your practice. So we will also invest back into a marketing reimbursement for you and help subsidize the marketing that you're doing. But the idea is we just want to keep you rolling and get you a quick start here with us at IMS. Just like you guys, the best new client that we can get, you being our clients, is a referral. And so if you refer an agent to us, if we're doing a good job with you and you think that IMS may be a good fit for someone you may know, and you want to avoid the whole agency model and all the responsibility and potential liability that comes with that, if you refer somebody to us and they get contracted, we'll give you a $50 check. But the real money kicks in when they start writing business. So if they write an annuity, they write, a $100,000 policy, you're going to get paid $200 on that business if you referred them to us. Our ownership, Curtis being one of them here on the call, quarterly write thousands and thousands of dollars that go to agents for these referrals. And we believe that's the best new producer that we can get, and we really, really value that and want to thank you for that opportunity to work with that producer. Me personally, I've been around the industry. I've worked at the largest IMO in the country. I've worked at another one where people like Curtis actually used to work at back in the day, and they all branched off and started their own groups. And so my point is I've seen what the industry has to offer in terms of back office support. And I think we do 3 things really, really well here at IMS. One of those is back office support. We have specialists assigned to each of the carriers that you would work with who understand what they need in terms of compliance, what some of the just quirky things about those carriers may be. And so we will have a specialist follow your business from the time you submit it to the time you get paid. We call that submission to commission to ensure that it's a smoother process and as quick a process as possible. So we have Mackenzie and her team on the annuity side and Michelle and her team on the life side, and they do a really, really good job of getting that business paid for you, the producer. Our website is full of all kinds of resources. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it here, but we have everything that you may need to successfully run your practice. A lot of that is right there available to you on demand on our website. So sales support pieces, comparison tools, training, a lot of different updates about the industry are going to be right there on our website. If you have not had a walkthrough of that and you are currently contracted with us, then please make sure your annuity or life sales director knows that, and we will get you a walkthrough of our website and all the resources on there. If you're a new person to us here at IMES and you'd like more information on that, it can be a great way to dip your toe in the water here and see what we're about. Speaking of expediting the process to get you paid, Firelight is an excellent resource to do that. Many of our carriers are requiring that you do electronic submission now. Firelight is kind of the industry standard as far as that's concerned. It's going to cut down on the time it takes you to write an app because it'll show you where you're missing information. It helps us more easily scrub that business to get it to the carrier with as few errors as possible. And the carriers have a much easier time getting that through suitability when everything is right there in Firelight. It's worth the time that you invest in learning Firelight. And if you need help accessing it, it is right there again on our website. Your annuity or life sales director can make sure you're registered and get you going with that. Couple of quick things. Carriers are incentivizing you in some cases to write via Firelight by offering additional commission, and some will pay you less if you don't use it. So make sure that's a tool on your belt. It also helps with remote applications, and the industry is moving more and more that way all the time. That's one of the things we'll be talking about today. So Firelight is almost an essential tool for you. Second thing that I think we do very, very well here at IMES is creative marketing. So we have a team of people who are specifically devoted to working within the financial advisory space. All they do is work in financial services, so they understand the language that you need, they understand compliance, and they're very, very good at doing everything from business cards and stationery all the way up to creating interactive websites and getting you on the radio, whatever you need. Our digital marketing team can meet you where you're at and be successful in helping you look the part. Credibility is a huge piece now. If you haven't got an online presence, if you haven't got your social media optimized, then that may be one reason why you're getting to first appointments and you may be missing out on more second appointments than you think you should be getting. Your online credibility piece is huge. We will walk you through your current marketing activities. We'll ask you some questions, take you through a comprehensive marketing fact finder, and present a customized marketing strategy to help you meet your goals in 2024 and beyond by implementing a plan that's custom based on what you want, how you want to work with us, and what you're comfortable doing to get in front of more clients. We're very, very good at that. Ask your annuity or life sales director, and we'll walk you through that process. Back in 2016, 2018, the DOL was a topic of major concern for people. They were worried that maybe they'd have to have their securities license to continue to write insurance. That topic has definitely come up again recently. While it doesn't look like you're going to have your 65, it's certainly a good idea to have it. We find that people who can do AUM typically close larger cases and more cases in general, and they're able to keep their clients very close to them so they don't have to go to another advisor. However, if you don't want to earn your securities license, IMES Wealth Management is an excellent resource to you there as well. So we'll both help you by giving you the training to get it, but also assist you if you don't have it. If you have a client who's looking to keep money in a growth bucket, our team of advisors over at IMES Wealth Management can assist you on a call. They can actually go on those calls with you digitally and help you keep that client close so they're not having to speak with another advisor. And then if you ever do earn your license, then we will flip those clients back to you, and that way you can get paid on that business. They have a lot of really good sales tools and resources provided to you if you are with that team. If you would like to schedule a call with IMES Wealth Management to talk about how they can be a resource to you, then please let us know. We will have a couple of polls here today. This is the first of them. Please participate. It helps us understand how to better serve you. We'll just leave this open for a couple of seconds, but if you'd like more information, let us know. I'll set Duncan Smith up to give you a quick call and go over IMES Wealth Management and how they can improve your practice. All right. I'm just about done here, but got a couple of more things to talk about. The third thing that I think we do very, very well here at IAMS is industry-leading training. Again, I've been around. I've seen training that other organizations provide. We are at the top. I think there are some other groups that do it well also, but the Life and Annuity Academy that we put on a few times a year is really the best training in the industry. This is not Life and Annuity 101. This is high-level sales concepts and best practices by other top producers, showing you how they've closed more business, what resources they've tapped into to get more people in their door, and really a good resource. The people that we've had out to these academies typically go back to their practice, close more business, and undoubtedly have a few ideas that they can implement to become better and better in front of clients. If you would like more information on our academy and what it would take to get out to one, we would certainly love for you to qualify. Please let us know here real quick, and we will do our very best to get you out to our first academy that we will be doing sometime likely in March or April. We usually do these at our corporate office in Omaha, but they can be, scattered throughout the country as we do partner with some of the carriers we work with on these. We are big on rewarding our producers. So we are wrapping up qualification for one incentive trip that will be in April this year, $4.5 million to qualify in annuity or life production. Annuity counts dollar for indexed, half for MIGAs, and life insurance, it kind of depends, but usually it counts in the neighborhood of 10 to 1. Then we will be doing this trip, which we still have a pretty significant amount of time to qualify for with Athene. We do put a lot of business with Athene, $3 million to qualify for the Summit by the Sea. Should be a good time. It's kind of a fraternal group that gets together at these events. You see a lot of the same people, but plenty of new people sprinkled in for these events, and a great time to share best practices, bump elbows and really network and share, some good ideas with other top producers. So if you want more information on this, let us know. But $3 million will get you qualified for this one with Athene. Finally, it wouldn't be a presentation if I didn't ask you to like and subscribe. So please follow us on Facebook and LinkedIn. Make sure that you can do the same in your practice with your clients. Increase your presence there. Again, let us know if we can help out with that. That's an easy way to become more visible to your clients and to keep those relationships close. So with that, I'm going to hand it off to Curtis to talk a little bit about how we have been using VSLs with our producers in 2023 and what that looks like going forward in 2024 and beyond. Thank you.
Well, thanks, Matt. And I, again, appreciate everybody taking the time to be with us today. Yeah, we're really excited about today's webinar. So we've formed a formal partnership with Safe Money Marketing and Clifford at the beginning of last year. And one of, I think, the really exciting things about that is we knew that certainly there's a lot of different marketing companies that are out there, but I think when you're using different vendors, we've all run campaigns, and I think at times been frustrated because we felt like they didn't really care if they generated the volume that they said they were going to, if the quality wasn't quite what we were promised. And so we really saw an opportunity in the marketplace to build something out to where we can really meet that advisor where they're at and help them to get to where they want to be. And that's really what Safe Money is all about, is having a robust portfolio of marketing options that can meet an advisor where they're at and help them to accomplish their goals each year. And so last year, we launched the event marketing. And so whether that's dinner or educational events or webinars, even movie theater events, and we saw a lot of success with that. We also knew at that time that there is a whole pool of advisors that, maybe event marketing isn't necessarily their thing. Maybe they like the idea of individual appointments or individual lead generation. And so that's really where the work began on the video sales letter platform. And it's designed to generate those one-on-one connections for the advisor. And so we're really excited about what we've seen as we've run those campaigns over the course of the last year, and being able to do a big launch on it this year. And that's part of the reason why I talked about this at Ascend last week, because we're gonna continue to add topics, enhancements, all those types of things. In fact, well, we'll talk more about this in the presentation. You know, we're focused on putting you in the best position possible to drive more sales. And so with that, I think I'll hand it over to Clifford Blodgett with Safe Money. He's kind of the resident expert on all things digital advertising and digital marketing, and certainly he's done a significant amount of work here over the last 18 months to help our advisors. So with that, Clifford, appreciate you taking some time to drop some of your expertise on us as well, and show us the ropes on this.
Yeah, definitely. Just a little house cleaning here, or housekeeping. You guys can see my screen, right?
Yes, we can.
Great. Okay, cool. In the presenter view, you can see yourself, but you can't see the screen that you're sharing with. So I just always like to ask. All right. I want to kind of touch on something that Curtis just mentioned there when he talked about, you know, knowledge in the industry, being a digital marketer that's worked with this. So I've been working with independent financial advisors and insurance agents for the past 10 years now. So, you know, VSLs, events, these are all topics that have come up many times over my career. But the whole thing is that the cost per appointment when it came to these video sales letters or mini webinars, or they're called so many different things, was always so expensive that for some people it was a viable option, but for other people, you know, when the cost got broke down, it was anywhere between $800, $900 cost per appointment, and that just was kind of just too far out of range, too far out of a lot of the advisors that we work with price range. Although if you do the math and you do a dinner event and you add in the, you know, sometimes you're at the $450, $500 cost per appointment level. But anyway, so our goal has always been to, you know, get those prices down, get a great topic, and kind of go from there. Like I said, I've been in the industry for 10 years, and what I noticed was also that there was a lot of conversations about refinancing. I think was one of the terms we heard, your annuity, or, you know, just going to people in general that had already had annuities and getting them a better product or a newer index, or what, you know, whatever the pieces were that are involved in there that we'll talk about at the end here. But essentially, you know, so we, you know, Curtis and I and a few advisors took a step back to kind of connect those dots. In being in the industry, I know what the percentage is of people that are resold annuities as well. So with interest rates where they were and the new products and all of those pieces and all that, this was the perfect time to come up with like kind of a video message for those folks from that. Now, the great part about that is that chassis that we built for Annuity Rank works for a number of different topics. So we'll go into that as well. But that's where, you know, this is a little different. This isn't just Clifford pitching, you know, Safe Money marketing today. This is a whole sales process. This is IMS leaning in and being like, this is where you get the lead, this is where you get the appointment, and then this is what you do to close that appointment or how to take the next step. So it's a really cool kind of like full arc overview of everything that we're doing here and how that works. So when we move from here, this is essentially what a video sales letter overview is. Awareness, ads, instant ads, those kind of pieces. We push them here to that VSL page here in the middle, right in here. and then we start an automation sequence. Okay, so in our automation sequence, we are, after someone has raised their hand, showed intent, we're touching that person 20 times in the first 8 days, and we're leveraging 3 different mediums. We're leveraging text messages, we're leveraging email, and then we're also leveraging voicemail drops. I have a feeling that at some point too here very soon, we'll probably also be leveraging some sort of call setter, if we need to. But right now, these things have actually been performing very well. So we're not, it's nothing we're, interested in doing now. But that's what we're doing. So text message is, you get a text message on your phone. Email is email, and then a voicemail drop is, have you ever been, like sitting at your desk and you have like a missed call? You're like, dude, totally been sitting here the whole time. I don't know what happened, but you got a voicemail, and then you listen to that message. That's a voicemail drop. They use, there's some kind of technology inside of your carriers that they're able to just go in there, drop that voicemail, and leave like a 50-second message. So we record all the messages, we put them into an automation sequence, and then we follow up with those messages afterwards. So like I said, 28 times we're reaching out to them. We're also using AI drive appointment setting sequences. So not only are we, using all these pieces, but we're also using AI to go into your calendar to find the pockets of opportunities for you to meet with people. So if your calendar says 10:30, 11:30, and 2:30 on a Monday, when somebody's making that appointment with you, we don't have the back and forth between you and the person. It's doing it itself. We also don't have them just going to a blank Calendly page and kind of like going through and maybe at the end not making an appointment. It's very simple. It's very streamlined. So what you get is a landing page here over on the left, just a nice little page that kind of explains what the presentation is, which then leads them to a presentation page. On this presentation page, we have a short 10 to 15 minute presentation. We have some facts at the bottom, and then we tell people the next steps, right? Now, the part of that presentation is a spokesperson driven video, but we're going to get in touch with you and we're going to have you shoot an introduction and a call to action piece, and we call that a donut around the video. So nice little piece. Now, what I want people to remember is now they've met you once or twice, depending on how you want to count that, and they know who you are. So a lot of the decisions on the next steps are made from that video. The spokesperson is one thing, but if you're able to come on the beginning and end and show that, and thank them for coming on, they know who you are. So, so you've had kind of a brief first touch, first appointment kind of piece. So knowing that going into your sales process and what your next steps are, you should remember that they've already spent a little bit of time with you, and they know who you are and what you look like and those kind of things. When it comes to traffic resources, we say pick an region or area. It can be as broad as a whole state. If you're interested in doing virtual, we could also set up, other program, or we could set the program up as wide as you want. We're using Facebook, we're using Google Performance Max, and we're leveraging YouTube ads as well. We leverage the other two, the Performance Max and the YouTube, more on people that have shown intent. We'll get cheap intent clicks, from Facebook or other places, and then we'll leverage the YouTube videos after that. We use dynamic ad sets, so that means at any given time, we might have anywhere between, 800 to 1,600 different combinations of ads that might be out there. We let the algorithm do the work for us. So the algorithm, finds out which ones perform the best, and then they serve them up more. And, and it just saves everyone money, because I'm not in there constantly tweaking and adjusting and moving pieces around, because that's what the algorithm's for as well. We're also able to, because of where we're at, leveraging our custom audiences, which is, we know who has bought annuities, or we know the type of person who has bought annuities, so we can upload those lists and keep our costs down as well. And then we're also using relevant extra fields from this. So if it's an annuity rank lead, we're also going to find the data of how old your annuity is and what was the original principal on that annuity. So like I said, the content's already done for you. It's high intent, ready to talk content. We're inserting you at the introduction of call to action. And then, so I want you to think that you're actually doing a second appointment with people. You've already met them once and you've automated your first, like the whole process behind this is you've now got the hardest working person in your audience or in your office because you're working 24 hours a day. You're doing first appointments, as many as we can to get those leads in there. So there's good stuff there. And the content is already insurance only compliant, and we'll give you a compliance sheet if you're a registered rep as well. From there, the topics that we're currently running are taxes and retirement, legacy maximization, and we're launching our annuity rank content today. So these are the prices on which our average cost per appointment were in Q4. So there's lots of things that we're doing to try to get those costs even lower. But right now, the average cost per appointment for taxes and retirement in legacy is about 150, and then annuity rank can be about 200 to 250. Now, I'm gonna let Curtis chime in here in a second, but I also want people to understand this is an appointment on your calendar. This isn't just a lead. It's not like you're having to call this person and hound them. They're setting an appointment with you. I also want you to understand that these are, with annuity rank, we know that they've bought an annuity and they've opted into that content. So this is high intent. These are high interest and high intent appointments that we're putting on your schedule, okay? So Curtis, I think you were going to say something about the topics that were included today.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I wanted to touch on that a little bit, and we talked about this last week at Ascend, but we certainly have a focus on broad-based topics, but then what are topics that are going to resonate with that consumer base, right? What is going to help generate a motivated consumer to engage with you? And so these are certainly some of the topics when we look at taxes and retirement. That is a lightning rod topic, and especially this year being an election year, there's I think a lot of content in the media about what is going to happen with the tax changes for next year. Yep. And then we've certainly over the course of last year saw interest rates and caps on annuities higher than they've ever been before, and so I'm sure many of you even on this call did a lot of annuity business last year, and probably a lot of that was replacements and reviews of annuities. And so I think you've got a lot of consumers that are out there wondering, do I have the best product? Something that they bought maybe a few years ago. And so it's an amazing environment for that. And then certainly with legacy maximization and estate planning, I mean, we're right now witnessing one of the largest generational transfers of wealth that we'll potentially ever see. And so there's just a ton of opportunity on that. In addition to that, one thing I'd mention as well is, again, there's a focus on feedback from the advisor. And so we're looking at different topics. We're always, Clifford's kind of like a mad scientist. He's always got a bunch of different things that he's working on and tinkering with. And part of what drives that is feedback from the field on topics or areas that advisors have interest in. And so probably the last thing I touch on, and I know we're going to get to this segment of the presentation, but it's not just a focus on lead gen. What we're focused on is how do we get you in front of the right prospect, the right entry point, and then how do we help you close that business? And so we've put together a number of resources here at IMES to help you in that sales process, and you're gonna hear more in depth about one that dives perfectly into annuity rank and helping you close that sale with that consumer. So appreciate that, Clifford. I'll hand it back over to you.
Yeah, and I think Curtis talks about the topics here. So just kind of glancing over this, legacy maximization, that topic came from Court and Jeremy, who we work with at Legacy Lock. So kind of like how hand in glove we, Safe Money works with all of the IMES folks. And in fact, the Annuity Rank content, a lot of that came from an idea that another advisor came to us with and was like, there's another group. I like this topic. What do you think about it? And I saw it and I was kind of like, this has some legs to it, and I like it a lot, so we kind of, move forward. So, I also, like I said, I like to hear the field on this stuff. So if another group or another, I don't know, even IMO comes to you with an idea for lead gen or whatever, pass it on to us, because sometimes you never know, like you'll be like interested in something and then they go to you, oh, your region's not available, or that kind of, like, you bring it to us, we'll have that conversation with you. A lot of times we can look at it, tell you if it has legs, recreate it, those kind of pieces. And we're always looking for the next kind of like, foot in the door for y'all to talk to folks there. This is what the follow-up sequence looks like. So like I said, 28 times we're reaching out to folks over the next 8 days. This one actually, this is 9 days. So we kind of like set it off. We also have engagement series. So we have another engagement series if they've shown intent but didn't move on. And then we have another for no-shows. So like anything in the industry, people don't show up. The average rate of no-shows for a lot of these appointments is anywhere between 65 to 75%. Right now, in the trials that we're running, we've got about a 65% show up rate. So some good numbers there. But if they don't show up, let us know, because then we can try to re-engage them after they missed. And what I find is on the re-engagement sequences, we're usually able to learn or earn back half of those people. They'll come back into rotation. Maybe they had a doctor's appointment that they forgot about or something like that, and they kind of go from there. Our ultimate goal is to put appointments on your calendars. Right now, it depends on the topic and the area, but our goal is to put as many on there. So if you buy the package that we're talking about today, our goal will have number of projections for those as well. And what you see on your end is the appointments on your calendar. You get an automated email at the time of sign up, and then you get an automated call at the appointment time. And this is optional, but we do have the ability to add, if the appointment's at 2:30, we call the person and we call you, and it connects you via, or a lot of advisors just like to call the person at 2:30 and take care of it themselves and not have to worry about technology or worry about picking up the phone or those kind of things. So that's an option that you can have if you want to do it. All right, we got do's and do nots. So please do follow up with attendees immediately if possible. Like I said, that call service that we offer only calls once. So if you miss it or they miss it, sometimes 2 minutes later they'll still pick up the phone, or 4 minutes later they'll pick up the phone. So keep trying, even though you might not get them the first time. Also, inform Safe Money of the no-shows. Like I said, we have sequences that we can re-engage them with. Add the prospects to your or I should change this to appointments. Add those people to your CRM. Get them in your own drip sequence. They are yours after they've made an appointment, and then continue to drip on that prospect after the initial appointment. I know that in Ascend we talked about dripping sequences and how important that is. I can tell you that the most important thing is to drip on people, because eventually that person can come around. So nice pieces there. Have an idea of what your second appointment looks like. So if it's a virtual or in person, or have whatever you need from them. So I think we're going to go into Annuity Rank, or we're going to go into Indexalizer here in a few minutes. But what do you need from them to fill out the Indexalizer report? So knowing that when you go into the call is super important. So you can, if it's a statement or if it's whatever, like knowing what those pieces are and having that, kind of in the back of your mind when you're setting that second appointment, to be like, hey, go ahead and send me this, or do you have this available? Take a picture of it with your cell phone. What are those next steps? Whatever you need. give us feedback on the leads or the quality of the leads that you're getting, and understand that some of these people will be reacting to voicemail drops, and we will have a call forward and a call whisper set up for you, but be prepared. So what I mean by that is when we use voicemail drops, a lot of people will just see that they missed a call and they'll recall that number back. It's the darndest thing. So they'll just see a missed call and then they'll call that number. Well, that call number goes to our call forwarding system, and then you're going to get a message on your phone that says, hey, this is a message from Safe Money Marketing, and you need to know what to say, right? And so if it's just like, oh, hey, so-and-so, or you won't know their name, so, but what are you going to say when that call forward comes through? Curtis, was there anything you wanted to add under the please do's? He must have stepped away.
He may have had to step away for a second.
It's fine.
I think you got it though, Clifford.
He's a busy guy, yeah. And he can chime in at the end here. And then, so when it comes to
I'll say here, Clifford, please do partner with your annuity sales director here at IMES. We definitely don't want you to be on your own with these appointments. There are some excellent tools that we're going to show to you here in a second with Kent, and other resources that we will talk more about as we get deeper and deeper into this. Many of you are probably going to have one-on-one conversation with a guy like me. But please involve us. We want to help you be successful here. So we'll help you learn all these tools.
Definitely. And you're like, it's like a mastermind inside of there, right? Like the more that you use your salesperson, the more he could tell you what other people are doing, or somebody else tried something that you wouldn't have thought of. So always talk about, how the programs are working with your salesperson. And you know what? I follow up with your salesperson too, just to see what you're saying about it as well. So there's all good stuff going on there. So please do not answer your phone from unknown numbers at the call of 2:30 or at the call of the appointment. So if your appointment's at 2:30 and you get an unknown number, don't just disregard it. Pick it up, because it's probably the call service. Or if you have strong feelings about that, then we'll just turn it off for you. It's not that big a deal. And then just make sure it's on you to call that person at 2:30 to take care of that part of the process. And then be ill prepared for the call. Like I said, you need to know the presentation that we've already given to them. Essentially, you've already spent 10 to 15 minutes with this person and given them things that they need to start thinking about, or second steps, or what's the next piece that you need to think of. So if it's taxes and retirement, you're getting them set up for a smart tax review. Or if it's annuity rank, we need this and this from you. So we can look at your annuity and see if you're a candidate for, a new product or whatever. When you pay your bill, what comes next is the ads go live. We watch your calendar together. Week 2, the paid traffic. We look at the paid traffic performance, resolve any calendar issues. It never fails that there's always a calendar issue or something the way that the calendar hits. And then week 4, we check follow-up appointments and any gaps in the process and work with you through those. And that's something that's handled by my team and IMES to help just streamline this process. It is, maybe some of you guys are used to that. Maybe some of the people in this group are used to these kind of leads. But for the majority of the people that we work with, this is a first time kind of thing. So it is kind of a change to your practice. And so any, advice or any pieces that we can offer you, definitely this is where we would address those in there. Okay, so let's talk about price. The initial setup is $6,000 and we're projecting 30 appointments for that. Now that is for a whole quarter. So think of it, as we're spending about $1,600 a month on your behalf on Facebook, Google, and YouTube to get these pieces set up. So $6,000 for the initial, and then $4,000 after that, and pretty much all of that $4,000 is going straight to Facebook to generate leads. We tweak, we adjust as we go, but for the most part, this is a set it, forget it, and we go from that. And if there's problems, we do take our time, look into it and those kind of things. But these things are waterfalls. A piece of news comes out, we get lots of clicks, economy reports, those kind of things lead to it. So what I find is the leads and appointments kind of ebb and flow. You might have a slow week, but then the next week you'll get 4, and those kind of things. So they kind of ebb and flow from that, and and Facebook will always be generating the leads, but we kind of go from there. So what's included is a registration page, the 28 touches of follow-ups, AI appointment setting technology that includes confirmation emails and text reminders before your event. So I think we hit the person 8 times before the event, but between emails and text messages. We also have scripted introductions and calls to actions that we have you record. We just get a big marker webinar set up. You come in there, I record it. We go over it a couple of times and we get your donuts set up. And then custom audience generated leads like we had talked about before. So there's the prices, there's the links to the pieces down below, and we go from there. You're essentially going to have to fill out a form, and I didn't update this, but we don't need to know about your venues and dates, but we do need to know, the topic, your details, if there's any disclosures that we need to put on there, headshots, logos, if it's relevant, and then you pay at the time that you sign up. So then we're all paid forward and we're moving. Generally, from beginning to end, after you fill out this form, we should have ads running, appointments appearing on, like ads running within 2 weeks, appointments on your calendar. Our goal would be 3 to 4 weeks. So cool. That is all that I have today. So
excellent. Well, I would like to give you guys one more tool, an excellent resource to help you with those replacement conversations, policy reviews, and beyond. But we're really going to hit on the replacement conversations today is Indexalizer. Some of you may have seen the webinars we've done in the past on these, but we do have Kent Jackway, our special guest for this webinar, with us, and I'm going to let him run through how you can leverage his technology to assist you in having that conversation with the client who's looking at the performance of their current annuity.
All right, good morning, guys. Get my screen shared here. Give me 1 second. People can see your screen. Okay, so what are you seeing right now?
We are seeing a current contract.
Okay, the current year specification. Okay, good. I just want to make, I've got multiple screens going, so I just want to make sure you're seeing the right one. Okay, hi guys. Yes, I'm Kent Jackway from the Index Resource Center. I am the founder of the Indexalizer program, and I'm just going to real quick run through how you could handle a replacement case. So what we have on the screen right now, this is an actual statement from a client. It's an older annuity. It looks like it's from American Equity. So I'm going to show you exactly how I would take that statement, use our tools, and turn this into a sale for you. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go out to indexalizer.com, and you can register for this going to indexalizer.com/IMS. And I've already logged in. So I'm going to go into my download report section here, and I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to open up a program called Reviewalizer. So I've already got it opened up here. Let me get into it. There it is. So what I've done is I've inputted from that annual statement, from the client's actual statement, all the data. I've inputted how much they have allocated to the fixed account, what the current rate is, what the renewal rate is. And then I've entered in, even if they don't have an allocation, I've entered in each option that is inside of that annuity. So now what's going to happen is Reviewalizer is going to analyze all this data. It's running the 10-year historicals on every one of those options based on the new rates that are being offered, the new caps, new spreads, new triggers, new pars, and it's running that 10-year historical. So the first thing I'm going to do before I go and look at any of the outputs is I'm going to do a custom allocation over here. So now that I can see which were the best ones, I can set up my own allocation and have that included in the report. So the first thing I'm going to look at is the summary here. This is telling me exactly where the client's currently allocated, what their 10-year historical is on their current allocation, and then I'm going to go into the output screen. And this again is going to show me that same current allocation, and it's going to give some preset reallocation option. So this is your plan. If you go to print this, you can print this out. Here's what it looks like. And you've got yourself a reallocation plan ready to go into your review appointment. And so down here at the bottom is that custom allocation, which ends up being the best. And so now you can go in and show the client all these different options that they can do to reallocate their annuity. Now, what else does this do? Now, in this case, if I were to pull back up that statement, none of the rates dropped. But let's just pretend for a second that one of them did. This explanations tab is actually going to tell you the economic reasons why the rate dropped. Listen, I sold index annuity. I sold my first index annuity back in 1997. I've been in many review appointments, and it's no fun when those rates go down and you don't have an answer why. Oh, it's the economy. Oh, it's inflation. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. This report, if you have any that drop, they will show up down here and it will give you the reasons. Was it bond rates? Was it treasury rates? Was it the volatility of the index, which 90% of the time is the culprit? It'll actually show you those numbers and give you real economic data to give a great answer to your client on why their rates went down. Now, so we know the reallocation. We know their summary where they're at. Now, let's look at a new product. So we go to the new product tab. So it's going to give you the balance right here of the annuity, and then you can put in the surrender value. In this case, it was the same, so there's no surrender charge. And then you can put in a new product. I just randomly picked one from Athene, and then I plugged in a couple of the options. Now, where did I get this information? Well, if we go back to indexalizer.com, I'm now going to go into our carrier reports program. So I'm going to bring that into focus here. So this is our carrier reports program. I selected a report or a product based on the top 50s, or you can get that information from IMS, and I've ran the report, and that's going to tell me exactly where all the par rates are, caps, triggers, and it puts it in order. Now these returns are crazy. They're high right now. All back-tested returns are high right now because of the last 10 years we've had, and because of all this new volatility controlled indices and the high pricing that we have. But the returns aren't what's important. What's important is this pecking order. It puts it in order of best performing to worst performing. So what I did, I just went in and picked the best biennial, the best 2-year reset, and the best annual reset. This one is better, yes, but I wanted to diversify. So I'm going to use one of the AI powered and one of the UBS. So I selected those. I go back into Reviewalizer and I plug those in. There's the AI powered, there's the UBS. And it's going to generate, let me take this drawdown out real quick. It's going to generate this return. Again, the returns are crazy high right now. I did a 50-50 allocation between these two. Our drawdown, this is important because we can't compare first year rates to renewal rates. So I'm going to throw a huge drawdown in there. What I'm saying there is we're looking at these two new options over the last 10 years. What we're going to do is simulate rate reductions throughout those 10 years. That's what that drawdown is. So now it brings us down to an 11.14 historical after a 60% drawdown. So now we go to the comparison tab and look at this. So it's going to show you, all right, Mr. or Mrs. Client, right now the historical on your current allocation is only 1.79. You have an older product. Back when this product was out, it was good, but we've had so many new things happen since then. If we stay in your product and we reallocate you to the optimal allocation, which is that custom one I did back here on the first tab, we could raise your historical up to 4.03 if we want to make changes inside of your product. Or we can look at this new product from Athene that I plugged in here, and look at that historical. So bottom line is, do you want to stay on the red line where you're at? You want to stay inside your same product but make changes and raise your historical, your probability? Or do we want to go into this new product and look at that green line? So that right there is going to just, I mean, what would you do if you're the client? My goodness, I mean, it's just obvious right there what to do. So this report here is a nice 4-page report. It's going to give you the breakdown of the comparison, and then it just gives you the allocations of each one of those comparisons. So utilize this stuff. It's all on indexalizer.com. And it's right there, guys. All you got to do is every client you meet, every old product, if it's in your own book or if it's a new client, plug these into Reviewalizer, check your suitability regs, make sure it's a suitable replacement, by looking at how old it is and knowing what the company, and I'm sure IAMS will help you with that. But what we can do is show you the numbers to compare those new products to the current one or the old ones they're in. So that, and probably the fastest I've ever done it, is how you use Reviewalizer to unlock new sales, new replacement opportunities. And then one last thing I want to say, guys, in the world we live in today, okay, index annuities were introduced in 1994. They were created in 94, first sold in 95. From that period all the way to 2018, we saw 66 indices inside of products. The big explosion happening probably around 2010 to 2015, but now we've had a bigger explosion. From 2018 to today, we've seen over 100 new indexes hit our industry. Wall Street is throwing their hat in the ring. They love what we're doing, and they're coming out with all this new great stuff. That is your in to explain why they should change and look at a new product. And I believe that makes you a better fiduciary. You are taking care of their money by analyzing where they're at and showing them the new stuff that has been invented. These actuaries at the insurance companies, these incredible derivatives people from all the indexes, they know what they're doing. They've come out with some great stuff, and your clients and your new clients need to take advantage of what is happening in our industry, and Reviewalizer demonstrates that for you. That's all I got, guys.
Kent, excellent stuff. Man, that's a world record for you. You guys have, if you haven't seen our other webinars, you have no idea how much his tool can do. It's an incredible value. It's $25. Gets you access to some other tools also. But a tool like this is, I'm not going to say it's completely essential, but it is an absolute enormous asset with the resources that we give you to stay in front of clients to help close more business. It makes it very, very simple. If you don't know how to do this, not a problem. We'll help you with the training. If you're not seeing enough people, not a problem. We've got you covered. If you're worried about the changes that are coming down with the Department of Labor and staying compliant, not a problem. These tools are going to help you do that. So this is a really comprehensive review of a good way to keep your sales funnel full. There are other things you can do as well, but this is an excellent ancillary way to get appointments on your calendar, or use it to keep your calendar full if you'd like, just utilizing these resources that Clifford and Kent have here. And I think you will see an excellent return on investment and an excellent 2024. So
can I say one more
if
thing?
you would like, yeah, go ahead, Kent.
This case we're looking at right here, this is an actual case. It's only a $15,000 case, but at $25 a month, Indexalizer are going to cost you $300 a year. At a 6% commission on $15,000, that's $900 right there, guys. One small case just tripled your investment into your practice. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. Thanks, guys.
Excellent point. And we can definitely get you these opportunities, guys. We've had success with it in 2023 as we tested these programs, and we know it's going to be successful in 2024. So with that, if you would like more information on these programs, please let us know. With Safe Money Events, that's going to cover the VSLs. I don't have a question in here about Indexalizer, but we can absolutely get you information for Indexalizer as well. Many more resources with Indexalizer that we didn't have a chance to hit on, but please let us know if you'd like to participate or have additional questions with the Safe Money Event programs, and we will get that going for you. All right. Don't have any more questions, so I think we are good. Clifford, do you have any closing comments? Curtis, anybody?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Well,
right.
I think you made a lot of good points there, Matt. The biggest thing I think is get started. We're at the beginning of the year. There's a lot of opportunity out there, but you got to go out and capitalize on it. So, as you've seen over the course of today and any of our webinars, we're very dedicated to making sure you guys have the resources and tools you need to be successful. So appreciate you taking some time with us today.
All right. Thank you, guys. We'll see you on the next webinar, and I will be in touch with any of you who said you'd like more information. Take care.